Hello, everyone. Are you interested in watching films? Are you interested in writing or even understanding screenplays but find them a little complicated to do so? Yes, screenwriting or even understanding a screenplay can be quite complicated, but don't worry. In this video, I will compress whatever knowledge I have, and I promise you that by the end of this video, understanding a screenplay will be as simple as understanding a meal for you. Yes, you heard that right. It will be as simple as understanding a meal for you, and I don't make false promises. Not yet, at least. Now, the backbone to understanding or to writing a good screenplay is understanding screenplay structure. And because there are so many moving parts to a screenplay, it can get quite complicated. You got to first come up with an idea, right? What is the basic idea of the film? Then you got to think of the characters. You got to know the characters inside out. You got to know his history, his background, his past, what his present challenges are, what his future aspirations are. In fact, you got to know the characters of your story even better than you know yourself. Then you got to think of scenes. Now, the thing about screenwriting is when you think of a scene, it has to be a small story in itself, right? Look at a scene as writing a small story in itself because it is absolutely necessary that a scene has to make sense. In real life, you are allowed not to make sense, but in screenwriting or even in a scene, you have to make absolute sense, otherwise, it's not screenwriting. Then we come to the dialogues. Now, a lot of people think that writing dialogue is a conversation, but it's definitely not that. Writing dialogue means that you either reveal something about the character or you take the story forward in some way. Now, apart from all this, a screenplay is normally divided into either 3 acts or 5 acts. Don't let the word act confuse you. I will get to it in a minute. And above all, when you write a screenplay, you can't write what you think. You can only write what you can show. Because when you're writing a book, you can, if you feel like writing that the character suddenly reached the mountains, you can just write that down because you just have to think. The people are just reading the words. But in screenplay, you have to make sure that it's possible for you to show him go to the mountains. So all these things make screenwriting quite challenging. But now let's get started with the real body of this video. How am I going to make this process as simple as understanding a meal for you? Now, have you ever been to a restaurant to eat a buffet meal? I'm sure you have. When you go to a restaurant, what is the first thing you eat when you're going for a buffet? It's naturally the starters, right? You try a few things, you try 3 things, 4 things, 5 things. You get an idea of how the food is tasting. You get an idea whether you're enjoying the food. The starters give you an anticipation of how the main course is going to taste, right? So similarly, look at the first act as the starters of your meal. In the first act, you will get to know the characters, you will get to know little of their background, little of their aspirations, what their plans are. You'll get some sense of what challenges they are going to face, and you will get some idea of are you enjoying the story, are you enjoying the characters. Now, what comes after the starters obviously is the main course. Similarly, after the first act, we'll get to the second act. Now, please pay a lot of attention here because the second act in a screenplay is extremely crucial. The second act is the reason you are actually watching the film. Just the way you go for a buffet meal, you look most forward to eating the main course. I don't think you would go for a buffet meal just for a starter and just for a dessert. You would not pay for that. So similarly, you actually pay money to see the story in the second act of the film because that's where you will understand what the challenges of the hero are, how he'll overcome that. You will watch him take the actions about his transformation, how he will overcome the obstacle, how he will overcome the conflict that he is facing. Now, I'd like to add something here. The second act will be divided into 2 parts. Why do I say that? Look at it this way. Let's say you have gone for an Italian buffet meal. And in the first half of the meal, you are going to have pasta. And in the second half of the meal, you're going to have a pizza. Why do I say that? I'm presuming that you prefer pizza over pasta. So similarly, because you are looking forward to the pizza in the second half of the meal, similarly, the crucial action that the protagonist will take will normally happen or almost always happen in the second half of the second act. And that is the entire film almost builds the anticipation to see that very interesting, very satisfying second half of the second act about what this character is going to do, which I cannot imagine right now. So similarly, even though you know you are eating a pizza, you are really looking forward to how it will taste. You know, how has this chef made it in a manner that I will enjoy it even more, or that I just can't imagine how it's going to taste. And I really want to relish it as much as possible. What comes after the second act? It's obviously the third act. What comes after the main course? It's obviously the dessert. Now look at it this way. While you're eating your main course, you are towards the end of the meal. So that end part of the meal, which you are going to enjoy the most, plus the dessert, that is going to be the third act. What do I mean by that? It's going to be the action that the protagonist or the hero takes towards the end of the film. And then we're going to show the resolution of the film as to how his world has changed, how the story has resolved, how he has overcome the conflict or the challenges of his life, which will give you a very satisfying ending of the film. So I hope this broad layout has helped you to understand a screenplay. And now let's get started with the breakdown of the film Three Idiots. Now, why have I chosen this film Three Idiots? Because it is unanimously almost everyone's favorite film, and it's a masterpiece by itself. I have not met anyone who has said that I did not enjoy the film Three Idiots. So let's get started with understanding the screenplay structure of this film. Now, if you remember, the film actually starts with a flashback. But what we're going to do now is that we're going to keep the flashback aside. Let's start with the main body of the film. The film starts with the introduction of the character Farhan. You immediately see him enter his college. He sees some puppies over there. He immediately takes a photograph. You immediately feel that, oh, he's like a happy-go-lucky, very interesting, chilled out kind of guy, not a very opinionated guy, right? And you understand the character immediately. And then he enters his room. He sees the character Raju Rastogi. And you see him praying to God, and you can see a very serious expression on his face. Immediately, the moment he enters, he utters a few words, you can understand this man takes his life and his work very, very seriously. And then, of course, when these guys are in the underwear being ragged by their seniors, we see Ranchod Das Shamal Das Chachar, who is lovingly called Rancho. Now, the moment you see him enter the frame, you kind of get the idea that this guy's going to escape this situation, right? He's not going to become a victim like the others have. And the writers waste no time in displaying his very high street smart capability as well as his high engineering brain, where he uses the fact that salt water is a great conductor of electricity, and he gets out of this situation. And then there are a lot of fun scenes where he explains his friends the concept of all is well. He explains the dictionary meaning of the word book. He creates a helicopter for a co-student of his, and it's a lot of fun. Let's get to the villain of the film, Viru Shastra Buddhi, who is lovingly called Virus. Now, technically, you would not call him a villain because he's not a bad guy per se. But because his ideology is so different, he is definitely the antagonist of the film, right? He's going to stand like a wall in everything that Rancho and team wants to do, right? I'm going to refer to them as Rancho and team from now on. So technically, yes, he is the villain of the film. And there is one more very interesting character in this film called Chatur. Now, you may think that he was in this film for that really hilarious speech that he gives, or two, so that the other characters can pull his legs. But there is one more reason why he is in this film. Basically, Chatur is an extension of the character Virus. In Virus's books, Chatur is the ideal student. So every time they are going against Chatur, they are also going against Virus. So notice how smartly the writers have implanted this character who will entertain you as well as clash with the ideology. Because in every situation, they cannot fight Virus. So they have introduced this character very smartly. Now, it's all fun, right? The film feels like a lot of fun until the first turning point happens in the film. I'm sure some of you have guessed it, right? That turning point is when Joy commits suicide. And this is where the second act of our film begins. Now, how do you understand this is the second act? Now, wherever there is a major turning point happening, a major revelation, a major obstacle, a major conflict, a major problem comes up, and it pivots the story into a different direction, or the character has to take some new action, we are kind of getting in, or we almost are getting into the second act most of the time. Do you remember I said that the second act is the most important part of the film? So please pay attention here. Now remember, you're having a buffet meal, right? When you go for a buffet meal, do you go alone or do you go with a friend? I'm guessing most of the time you would go with a friend, right? So visualize this. You are with a friend for a buffet meal. You all have gone for a fantastic Italian buffet meal. And on the screen, there is a tennis match going on. And you guys are supporting either different teams. Why do I say that? Because in the second act, almost till the end of the film, the protagonist and the antagonist are going to try and score points against each other. So if you look at the structure in this manner, it'll be easier for you to understand, to break it down as to what has to be shown, how it has to be written, or what exactly is the structure of the second act. So once you break it down as this tennis match, it'll be a lot easier for you to understand. And who are the players? Rancho and team versus Virus. Now let's see who wins the first point. Immediately after Joy's suicide, Rancho goes